In our journey to learn about different methods to solve the quadratic polynomials, one method that we are going to discuss today is how do you use the quadratic formula for solving a quadratic polynomial. So if this is my quadratic polynomial as given in the very general form that we have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b and c are the three constants, then we say that this polynomial will have two possible zeros because it is a quadratic, or it will have two different solutions, and those solutions can be explained by this one general formula that it is equal to negative b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now this is called a quadratic formula. Given that our learning objective is twofold. One is that how exactly did we obtain this quadratic formula? How is it linked to the complete square method? And the second is how will we actually use it? Okay. So let us begin by first solving this polynomial using the complete square method. So for that, my very first step is that I want to separate my variables from the constants. Okay, so on the left hand side you have all the terms containing variables, and the right hand side is only the constant. And the second is divide this entire expression with a value so that the coefficient of x square reduces down to 1, right? That means I need to divide this whole thing with the value equal to a. So when you do that, you obtain x square plus b divided by a times x is equal to negative c over a. And the third step is convert the left hand side into a complete square. And for that, what we do is we first write the part as it is, and then we take whatever is the coefficient of x, we take that, divide that with 2 and make the square of that, right? And when you do that, you have to do the same thing on the right hand side to keep this equation balanced all the time. Now let's do this. Let's solve the left hand side and the right hand side separately. So when I work on the right hand side, it gives me it is equal to b square divided by 4a square minus c over a. When you further simplify it, you get 4a square in the denominator. The numerator becomes b square minus 4ac. Or you can also write it like this. It is b square minus 4ac divided by 2a and the square of that. And to simplify the left hand side, I'm going to make use of this standard identity. Let's say I have p plus q and whole square of that. It becomes p square plus q square plus twice of p times q, right? So when you actually compare this value, this entire expression on the left hand side with this value right here, you will find that the expression on the left hand side, which is x squared plus b over ax, can be very simply written as it is x plus b over 2a and the square of that. Correct? And this thing can be very well equated to this expression that we have obtained by simplifying the right hand side, and it will be b square minus 4ac divided by 2a and square of that. So I will simply call it as part of my step 3. Let's say it is step 3b and this is step 3a. All right. So far so good, right? Now let's simplify the step number 3b and obtain our two possible zeros. Let me make a little room here. Then what you get is you simply take a square root on both sides, right? And when you actually do that, you find that x plus b over 2a is equal to the square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Because 2a has a square on that, right? And when you take the square root of this entire expression, you only get 2a in the denominator, right? And you have two possible values. You can have a positive value and a negative value. So from here, I can simply obtain my two possible zeros. One of them is x is equal to negative b over 2a plus b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, right? And the second one would be x is equal to negative b over 2a minus, because there are two possible values of this entire expression, right? One of them is a positive value and the second one is a negative value. So this will be negative of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Or collectively you can write it like this, The simplified version is x is equal to, the two possible zeros of x is equal to negative b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. This is a quick way to write plus and minus both in the same expression. So these are my two possible zeros. And isn't that what we wanted here, correct? So the key point I want you to take home is that the complete square method, by following this approach, you have been able to accomplish a general formula for the zeros of a quadratic, and that is known as a quadratic formula. And that is exactly what we wanted to learn, right? Now, the next part in this lesson is how exactly we are going to make use of this formula to solve our quadratic problems. All right, so let's go take a look at that. So to summarize that, we have a polynomial in a general form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And for this polynomial, we can find the two possible zeros using the quadratic formula that we just obtained. And that quadratic formula uses the values a, b, and c as given in this expression. Okay. So the task is we need to find the two possible zeros of polynomial minus 5x squared plus 8x plus 1 equal to 0. All right. So the solution is very simple now. We already know the formula. We just need to identify what is my a, what is my b, and what is my c. And then simply plug in those values in this formula. So when I compare this general form with the statement that has been given to us, we find that a is equal to negative 5. B is equal to 8 and C is equal to plus 1. We need to be very careful about the sign values that are in front of these coefficients. And that is one crucial point, that sometimes we ignore these signs in front of these coefficients. Okay, but we identified all of them. Now let's go solve and find the two possible zeros. So the first one would be x is equal to negative b, which is negative 8. Right? Because b is positive and negative b will become negative 8, plus square root of b square, which is 8 square, minus 4 times a is negative 5, right? That will be negative 5 times c, that will be plus 1. So it is 1 divided by twice of the a is negative 5. And what will be the second possible zero? That will be negative b, which is negative 8, minus, because this is my second part here. There are two possible zeros. One of them has a subtraction sign between the term minus b and the term square root of b square minus 4ac, correct? So as I plug in my numbers, I get that it is equal to 8 square minus 4 times negative 5 times 1 divided by 2 times negative 5. And now I'm not going to go into the details of how do you solve this computation, because that is a fairly easy part. But I can tell you that once you solve all of this mathematics, you'll find that this possible value of x comes out to be 1.717, and the first solution comes out to be negative 0.117. So these are my two possible zeros that we obtained using the quadratic formula, right? So what exactly is the learning point for us in this lesson? The learning point is this, that any standard polynomial, the quadratic polynomial, can be solved using this quadratic formula that we have, okay? Where we have to be careful about the sign values that you have in front of these coefficients, okay? And once you have figured out what are these three values, you simply plug them in this formula and find the two possible zeros.